I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not worry about the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. In fact, if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show can be very enticing. It's titled Money Talks. And the reason why money can be talking your language this week is because there are two grand trines among the planets right now. A grand trine occurs when there is a planet in every single sign of the same element. And so there are four elements: fire, air, earth, and water. There is a grand trine in the earth signs, and there's also another grand trine in the fire signs. They operate in different ways, though, and the grand trine in earth signs is stronger. And it begins with an exalted planet. The moon today is exalted in Taurus, a fixed financial sign. That's why money talks. Because all of the earth signs rule the material houses. Taurus rules the traditional second house of how you make your money and what you spend it on. So Taurus rules investments, and Taurus is the sign of the good provider, but particularly when the moon is there, because it is exalted. That moon in Taurus is trining Mars and Jupiter in Virgo. Virgo rules the traditional sixth house of work, your employment, and it rules service to others, and it rules occupations such as nursing and teaching and accounting, because those are giving service to others, and also it rules details and facts. Virgo also rules the whole healthcare field. So with Mars, a dynamic, energetic planet, now beginning to conjunct Jupiter, the planet of goodness and benevolence in Virgo, it simply means that if you've got a little health problem, this is a really good time to solve that. Those two planets are trining the moon in Taurus, and together those three planets are trining Pluto in Capricorn. All four of these planets are direct, so they're very, they're going to move forward no matter what. And Capricorn is the traditional ruler of the 10th house of your career and your public reputation and rewards earned the hard way over a long period of time. So Capricorn rules long-term security such as pension funds. And so those are material concerns, and that is why money really talks this week, because the grand trine is so strong in the earth signs. So if you are paying attention to your career or to your health or to some employment matter or to your long-term security, and you are searching for ways to solve problems in those areas, you're going to do just fine, because you could prosper and provide very well for yourself and your loved ones, either immediately or over time. So that is great. The second grand trine, though, works a little differently. It is in fire signs, and fire signs like action. They don't mind skipping steps, whereas the earth signs don't want to skip steps at all. They just want to go through and be very thorough. But Venus today is in Leo, and it is trining the other love planet, Uranus, in Aries. Uranus is retrograde or going backward in a sign that rules new beginnings. So there may be some new beginning that has to start over again, but there would be a lot of loving support for that as well, because the two love planets trine each other, and together they are trining Saturn in Sagittarius, which rules the higher mind for your colleges and universities, the courts, people in foreign countries, or all international bodies. So if you are so inclined and you are dedicated and is in somewhat of a hurry, you could obtain some sort of lofty goal right now. That's the effect of Saturn in Sagittarius. And that would be because you would have the loving support of old friends or family members who are very steadfast and could help you with going for a lofty goal. It doesn't mean the goal would be accomplished right now. It simply means that you would have some loving support so that you could go ahead little by little and accomplish that goal, perhaps within about 2 years. And so that's good. And so there are different ways for you to sort of get what you want. But right now, the reason why money talks is because people who have been very reliable, steadfast, and who have been punctual and who have been trying to do their best in any kind of occupation at any level are due to get some further recognition or reward or promotion now, and there can be money around for that. And why is that? Well, because there are two planets now that are finally in trine to each other, and they are in those material signs. Mars is in Virgo, and it is trining Pluto in Capricorn. Mars and Pluto are the rulers of Scorpio, which rules money coming in from any other source. It is the other fixed financial sign, and its rulers are in such good aspect that there can be money around now that can not be spent frivolously, but instead can be invested in people who have been very steadfast and have been making painstaking efforts and have been very, very reliable. So if you have a proven track record of your accomplishments, or you have a good education, or you have achieved some of your goals, and that can be verified, then you are the person that the good money is going to go on. And that is because people do not want to trust anybody who's just fly-by-night or somebody who's involved in any kind of a cover-up. They want to trust results right now. The earth signs go for results, and so does the money. So there is money around at last to invest or give to people who have already proven that they're really worth it. And if that's you, then money is sure going to be talking your language this week. Lucky you. Okay, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, remember I said there are two grand trines. Well, one of them involves fire signs, which is what yours is. And so the Uranus in your sign is being trined beautifully by Venus in Leo, which is just great. It means that you can be extremely popular right now, Aries. And those two planets are trining Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn is a slower moving planet, but it does denote people that you've known for quite a while, or people who are older. And it can be that if you seek a mentor who is older and wiser and takes you under their wing, you may be able to start over or even go back to a previous occupation or location, since Uranus is retrograde, and you would be welcomed with open arms. So that is just wonderful. There is a wild card that is involved with your sign, though, and we have all got to watch out for it, and that is because Uranus in your sign is being opposed by the Sun and Mercury in Libra, which rules the law. And Mercury is retrograde along with Uranus being retrograde, and they are opposing each other, which means there can be a mix-up in communications, and that may be why something has to start over and get on a better footing, or there can be changes in a contract or a partnership. All three of these planets are being harshly squared by a very powerful Pluto in Capricorn. And so with Pluto squaring Uranus in your own sign, you may not be very happy with the dictates of management, and you could suddenly rebel. That's the wild card. So you may impulsively go off in a new direction, or even go back to something that you used to do or somewhere that you used to live. And I think you'd be happy no matter what, Aries. And that is because you are popular and you do have loving support. So try not to be too impulsive this week, but still, since you are popular, you might try some more serious endeavor, since Saturn is also serious. Saturn is a serious planet, and it is trining and supporting your sun sign. So you might want to think about earning more money. If money talks in your life in the next week, Aries, I think it's going to be your money that's talking, as you may be contemplating better investment or expensive move, or just providing well for your loved ones. So it might be that the money's going out right now, but that's all right. At least you have it to spend, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is certainly a wonderful week for you. And the reason why is that the moon is exalted in your sign at its very finest, which means that you want to fulfill your role as the good provider, which is what you work hard for, not just for yourself and the things you like, but for your loved ones as well. And so you're going to shine this week, Taurus, and that is because the exalted moon is shedding its wonderful light on you, and it is illuminating your good work ethic, and also the idea that you may have an investment that is worth quite a bit, and you may want to sell it, or you may want to somehow enlarge it in one way or another. So that's wonderful. So either your money's going to be, you're going to put your money on something really worthwhile, or it can be that you, in your own steadfast way, do qualify for some recognition, a reward, or a promotion, because that exalted moon in your sign is being trined by Mars and Jupiter in Virgo, and also by Pluto in Capricorn, and all 4 planets are direct. So the direction you're moving, Taurus, is up, which is really good. It's just that you have to be qualified for it. Since Uranus is right behind your sun sign and it's a little bit volatile and erratic at times, there could be a sudden change in the background of your life, Taurus. But I think that you are so steadfast this week that you would be able to handle any surprising upset and still maintain your equilibrium in a way that still promotes good investments, emphasis on your career, improvement in your health, and perhaps enhancing your long-term security. So this week is a real go for you, Taurus. Lucky you. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, I don't think it's so much that money is going to be talking to you, and that is because there aren't that many planets in the air signs. The Sun and Mercury, your own ruler, which is retrograde right now, are trining your Sun, which means that probably in another week or 2 weeks, or by the end of, no longer than the end of the month, you could be receiving some good news about a legal matter, a contract, or just you could be meeting somebody very, very nice that could be a helpful partner to you, which would be great. But in the meantime, that exalted moon in Taurus is right behind your sun sign. So in the background of your life, you either have some good money, or you know somebody else who's very financially secure that can be quite willing to part with a little money on your behalf, which would be great, Gemini. But it isn't money that is your major concern this week. It is probably your health. And the reason why is that Mars has moved into Virgo, and it is squaring your sun sign, and so is Jupiter. And Virgo rules health, and so there's a health matter that you absolutely have to correct, Gemini, or improve in some way. Virgo rules self-improvement, and the reason why you need to do that now is because medical bills could result if you don't attend to a health matter and get serious about it right now, and that could be prohibitively expensive. And so money could be going out instead of coming in if you don't improve your health first. And Neptune in Pisces is squaring your Sun, which means that people are not telling you the whole truth, or else you're just covering up and kidding yourself about something, and you need to stop that, because Saturn in Sagittarius is opposing your sun sign for 2 years. And that means things are not going to be quite as easy as you think, Gemini, and you really need to be in top shape. And that's why I hope that you attend to your health. And in the long run, that's going to be a whole lot less expensive than having expensive medical bills. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, a Cancer, this is a time when I think that if money talks, it is somebody else that's going to be involved in that. And the reason why is the exalted moon is sextile your Sun. You could have your mind on an investment that has to do with real estate, and you could be thinking about buying or selling a home, or you could be thinking about remodeling, because that's expensive too, but it adds good value to a home as well. So that is certainly possible. But on the other hand, there could be a wild card around. One reason why it could adversely affect you, Cancer, is because there are not as many planets in the water signs as there used to be. In fact, there's only one, and it's Neptune in Pisces, which is trining your Sun, and that is an indication you should be following your dreams, Cancer. And the reason why is that Uranus is squaring your sun sign, and that could bring an unexpected upset, or somebody could sort of come and go very quickly, or they could be starting over and they may rebel and sort of go off and want their own freedom right now, and that would be upsetting to you. And the Sun and Mercury in Libra are squaring your Sun, which means there can be a legal matter or a partnership or contract issue that can be sort of unclear right now or not resolved. It may not be resolved until later on at the end of the month or even later on in the year. And in the meantime, you can be sort of feeling in limbo about that. And Pluto in Capricorn, which is very strong right now, is opposing your sun sign, indicating there can be budget cuts. Remember, the money is going to go to the people that have a very steady work record. And if you are not working, or you are involved in some way in something where your time is not all completely accountable, then there may be a question of whether management wants to keep you or not, and you could be subject to budget cuts. That's why you need to follow your dream. So I think there is change going on around you, Cancer, that is out of your control. You can't control it. And how much of that stress can you take? So it is far better if you just work a little bit at a time at trying to make a dream come true, because in 2 years it could really pay off when Jupiter goes into Scorpio and does trine your Sun. So you have something to look forward to, Cancer. It's just down the road. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, you have Venus in your sign. Lucky you. You can be in the mood for love, Leo. After all, your sign does rule love affairs. Or it can be that you're just in a very good mood and that you certainly want peace. You're not on the warpath at all. And you can be very popular because Uranus, the other love planet, is in Aries, trining Venus in your own sun sign. But the Sirius planet, Saturn, which is in Sagittarius, is also trining Venus in your sun sign, and that's the one that can really help you out. You remember, Uranus is retrograde, it's a little bit weaker. But Saturn in Sagittarius trining Venus in your own sign simply means that old friends are the best friends. And if you are going to try to accomplish a lofty goal, and you could do it, it might take you a couple of years, but if you try to seek a mentor who is older and wiser, or if you are simply around people who have more experience and you get good coaching or advice from them, that would really help you out and you could accomplish your goals. Maybe not in as fast a way as you would like, but even if it takes you a little longer, once you obtain that goal, it would have a really good effect on you for the rest of your life, Leo. So if you're at a fork in the road and you want to take either the short road or the long road, take the long one, Leo, because it might take you longer to reach the end of the road, but there can be a pot of gold waiting for you at that end of the road if you are very, very serious now about some goal and willing to get advice from others in order to help you get it, because you could get wise advice and loving support from people. So you ought to go for that. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, I just have one word of caution for you this week, and that is try not to lose your temper. And the reason why is that the exalted moon in Taurus is trining your sun, so good money is sure headed your way, Virgo. But believe me, you will earn it, because Mars is in your sun sign and Jupiter is there as well. And Mars and Jupiter in their orbits are becoming very close together. They are now starting to conjunct. And that simply means that the power of each planet is compounded or even stronger. Mars can really make you want to work very, very hard. And Jupiter can give you good opportunities, and you may want to work hard at a lot of different things right now, Virgo. And Pluto in Capricorn is trining your sun as well, which means that management really likes what you're doing, and so they can promote you or reward you or recognize you. So there may not be enough hours in the day for you to do everything, Virgo, and yet your sign rules good time management, and this is when you're going to be put to the test. The whole time Mars is in your sign, you could be a little stressed out by trying to do too much. And you don't really have to do that, Virgo. You do not have to work harder. You have to work smarter. And that just means make each moment count a little more. And so you can't waste your time in anything frivolous right now. You have to be really well organized. And if you feel that your nerves are getting a little bit frayed, you're going to have to step back and get a little rest, Virgo. Otherwise, you might explode and alienate people. And believe me, if you're going to get everything done that you want to do, you're going to need help. And that is why you got to cool off every once in a while. And do not say angry words now or be confrontational due to stress, because that isn't going to help you in the end. So you've got to try to stay calm. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, the Sun and Mercury are in your Sun sign, but Mercury is retrograde. However, it is conjuncting the Sun. The Sun is at 8 degrees and Mercury is at 6 degrees. They're very close together. So you can be full of a lot of creative ideas, some of which you may have thought of before. And you may be thinking that if you sort of rework some sort of proposal, maybe a good contract could come out of it. That's true, it could. Or you could possibly hear good news about a legal matter in just a few weeks or no later than the end of the month. And so that's all possible right now, Libra. But remember, I mentioned a wild card. Uranus is opposing the Sun and Mercury in your sign, and Uranus is a very volatile planet and subject to sudden change. And so there can be new beginnings that other people want to make right now. And Uranus in Aries is well fortified. There is a grand trine in fire signs. And so, I hope that you allow for the unexpected this week, Libra, because it could occur around you, not necessarily to you, but around you, and then that would affect what you want to do as well. And also Pluto in Capricorn, which is very strong, is squaring the Sun and Mercury in your sign. There are no planets in the other air signs. There is nothing fortifying your sign. So you're going to have to listen to what other people tell you to do right now. And whether you agree with it or not, I wouldn't say too much right now, because you've got lots of possibilities ahead of you, Libra, and they just sort of need to unfold right now. That's why I wouldn't express too much. Don't give everybody your wonderful opinion this week. Just wait and see what happens. Jupiter is going to be coming into your Sun sign next September after it leaves Virgo, and that is when you can really shine. So this is, your life is full of possibilities right now. They're just a little hard to see what is going to gel. That's why you need to be careful what you say, but you do need to listen to other people's commands right now because they are in charge. What does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is simply a time without too many planets in water signs that you too need to follow your dream, just like Cancer does, because Neptune in Pisces is trining your Sun, which is just great. The exalted moon in Taurus is opposing your Sun, so that when money talks, I don't think it's talking to you right now, Scorpio, because people with money want to invest it, or they want it coming in one way or another. And your sign does rule money coming from other sources. But it might be possible with the moon opposing your Sun sign that somebody else just wants to keep hold of their money and not share it with you. And Venus in Leo is squaring your Sun sign, and that means somebody else wants the spotlight and doesn't want to share it with you. So you may be having a quiet week this week, Scorpio, but that's perfectly fine. And that is because you may need to regroup after a couple of years of really sort of just plodding along, but also making yourself financially secure. So this may be a time when it's very quiet for you, Scorpio, but you need that downtime right now. And that is because you can be more financially secure than you used to, but you need to look around and see what else is going on before you decide to spend any money. So I would keep my hands in my pocket this week and wait and see what happens with others before you make any real concrete financial decisions. It's not quite time to do that yet. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, Saturn is in your sign, which is a fire sign, and so Uranus in Aries is trining it, and so is Venus in Leo. You can be very, very popular, Sagittarius, which is wonderful. But does that mean money's going to come your way? I don't think so right now, and that is because there are a few other details that need to be attended to first. Just like Gemini, you have Mars and Jupiter in Virgo squaring your sun, and you have Neptune in Pisces also squaring your sun. So there is some element of kidding or deception around somewhere, and there is a need for you to improve your health. And you've got to do that, because if you don't, there's going to be higher medical bills, and where are you going to get the money to pay for that? So this is a time when you need to sort of very soberly get down to the basics, Sagittarius, and concentrate on those. And you have a lot of loving support. So old friends and family members are going to stand by you, and they will help you, particularly if you want to obtain a lofty goal that may take a few years. But with their help, you could do it. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a wonderful time for you, and that is because the exalted moon in Taurus is trining your sun, and so are Mars and Jupiter in Virgo. So you could sure get a lot done this week, Capricorn. But actually, I think there is some more money coming your way, and it is because you have a proven track record of steady accomplishment, and that means that other people with money can trust you, Capricorn, because they can see a work record or a level of achievement that you have earned the hard way, simply by persevering, which is what you do. So this is going to be a good week for you, Capricorn, and it is quite possible that recognition, a reward, or some more money is headed your way. It might take until the end of the month or the start of next month, because Mercury is still retrograde. But I think that you are going to have a real good week, despite the fact that there may be some wild card in there as well. It won't tip you over, though. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when you can be hearing the possibility of good news, or a contract can be reworked. And that is because the Sun and Mercury, which is still retrograde, are trining your Sun. But Mercury will go direct by the 9th, which isn't too far from now. And that simply means that you may get some very favorable news about a legal settlement, or else a very nice partner could be headed your way, which would be great, Aquarius. In the meantime, is money going to be talking to you? I don't think so, because the exalted moon in Taurus is squaring your Sun, and Venus in Leo is opposing your Sun. Those planets are really enforcing grand trines in their own elements, earth and air, earth and fire. But there isn't a grand trine in air signs right now, and so I think you're going to go through a little period of still sitting on the fence and waiting for things, Aquarius. But the tide will turn in your favor, probably in a couple of weeks. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time when I think you need to be pretty careful. And the reason why is that there's only one planet in a water sign, and it's Neptune in your sign, but it is being strongly opposed by Mars and Jupiter in Virgo, which means that somebody is going to demand a lot of facts from you, Pisces, and they are going to want you to work even harder and concentrate more on the details. So you're really going to have to keep your nose to the grindstone right now, and pay attention to how you can improve your health as well. And Saturn in Sagittarius is squaring your Sun, which means that if you want to obtain a lofty goal, such as an advanced degree or getting promoted on your job, you're really going to have to work hard for it, Pisces, for a couple of years. But the reward could be well worth it within 2 years. So this is a time when you need to get really, really serious and back to basics, because it's going to pay off in 2 years when Jupiter comes into Scorpio and trines your Sun. So that's what your goal should be, something that will give you a lot of credit and a high sense of achievement within 2 years, Pisces. So I wish you the best of luck. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.